There is a new player in the segment of small premium SUVs, is the DS3 Crossback, and the very peculiar thing about this car is it will come as petrol, diesel and full electric at the same time. Well, let's hear more about that, exterior, interior and also the technology. The DS3 Crossback is supposed to start at already 25,000 euros and is on this new CMP platform, the first one in the PSA cooperation. And you can already see those optional LED matrix lights, very interesting, so they give an interesting lighting function. And the daytime running light, they're just in a vertical way right there. And this typical DS grille, yes, it's basically the same form than Audi is using, but DS has also used it for their bigger vehicles, now also for the small car. 4 meters 12 or 13 foot 5 is the total length here, so yes, it's indeed a small SUV. Here we also changed the color. Hard to see that in that Paris Motor Show light here, but you can see here there's a contrasting roof color. The door handles flip out, that you can actually grab them. Strange. There we go. Not that I would say that I'm the biggest fan of this system, but let's say it's indeed something unique. And what's also interesting, here we got those special rims. Those ones here are 18-inch. They even have a structure on the rim. Interesting. And they also want to be really soundproof, so they, for example, use a special insulation in the glass. So far the French manufacturers, they weren't like top of the game when it came to sound insulation. With the DS3 Crossback, the PSA corporations of Peugeot, Citroën and DS, they want to change that. Really looking forward when we drive the car. So far we can tell you something more about the features. And by the way, you might know that from the normal DS3, so non-SUV, this reverse shark fin, this characteristic line was carried over also here to the SUV version. Well, now we changed the car again, so a very colorful review for you. So this purple color, very interesting, and the tail lamps, they are also just very slim with the LED daytime running light right there. In a similar style than the bigger DS5 Crossback has. In the lower part, well, this is a little bit exaggerated with the exhaust. The rear ones are inside. This is then the outside tip, right and left each. Well, when you have the electric version, you won't need to care about that at all. But overall, I mean, the rear I think is quite cool and quite modern. The side profile really looks like the normal DS3. So what do you think so far? And yet again another color, a very striking red. This is fitting the car very well, I think. And you can then also play with the contrast roof in black. Then according to the black rims again and the red logo on the inside, I think this is the concept which works the best. This one is also the DS Performance line, so to add a little sportier touch. So on the combustion engine side, well, you don't get hydraulic struts, but you get petrol and diesel with 100, 130, or the petrol also then with 150 horsepower. So that's the classic choice then, if you don't have any charging possibility at home. And the electric version, they call it E-Tense. It also comes with a special paint. See this crystal white color, very interesting. And this one then will also feature a front trunk. We cannot open it yet because it's a show car and they have basically deactivated the function, but there will be some storage area for the cable, for example, underneath. The battery capacity will be 50 kilowatt hours and the car is supposed to deliver you a range pure electric of 190 miles or 300 kilometers. And also a quite nice boost with the 136 horsepower, 8.7 seconds to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. So actually quite promising figures. The battery is not too big, but the car is also quite small and also, you know, waiting for a price on the electric vehicle there. But I think it's an interesting concept, a small electric SUV. At the moment only Kia is offering that, so this could really very well work for all you guys that already have a charging infrastructure or planned to do so. So you see here the charging plug will be a lower left, and then let's take a look here at the inside of the doors. Plush materials, very interesting geometrical forms. Well, the door pocket is not too handy, I think, for bottles. And then here, this interior for the electric vehicle is also exclusive for the electric version with a wide steering wheel, also wide accentuations right there. The columns are known from the normal cars, also Peugeot and Citroën. Then we have those beige seats or white seats. They look pretty cool and pretty bright. They have a fabric or cloth insert on the inside and on the outside. Well, I don't know yet if it's leatherette or real leather, but what DS is doing is that they now say, wait a minute, we have a new idea of luxury. Let's use leather. And of course, I mean, that's not really a new idea and rather something from the past, but there will be different trims available, not only colors, but also different materials later on. So, the seat here is a manual one. This is a pre-production car, we have to bear that in mind. So the functionality here is, well, it works everything basically. You can see you can also adjust the steering wheel in height and reach. It feels actually indeed very small, the whole car. And also the interior is, let's say, pretty much built around you. Just the middle console is quite open. But I can already tell you it's not something that would be really suitable for really tall people. Just from the seating position, it's a little bit strange, but best is when you pump it a little bit up, then the seating area is a little flatter. I'm on minus 86 or 6'1". Without the panoramic roof, I have enough headroom. That's really fine. But with my knees, I think I have to put the steering wheel all the way up and maybe all the way towards me. Then it does fit better with my knees. So yes, headroom plenty. But you see here with the with the leg situation, that's maybe a little bit not optimum for taller people. Interesting also that we have small digital gauges right there. Another big screen, horizontal, 10.3 inch. In the width, it's enough, but if you look at the GPS, maybe, not sure if it's high enough. Let's see if that works here. And yeah, here we go. So soon we can take it also in a detailed look right there. So you have those capacitive buttons here, also to change to the climate unit, for example, and then change it right here. It's quite highly placed, so you don't have to look away so much from the street. But then again, you sit very low in the car, although it's a small car. That's a little bit strange, indeed. Maybe also due to pre-production, I don't know. This area here is a little bit like the designers thought, let's do something completely different, no matter if it makes sense or not. I mean, you have to say, yes, they were very daring, and it's really completely unique. That's, I think we can agree on that. Start-stop engine button here in the lower part also has this pulsating heart, basically. Then again, this compact steering wheel, which is quite sporty, interesting. And in the lower part, we have an automatic gear shifter. Electric motor just has one gear, that's enough. And also the window levers, as we know from DS3 Crossback, are right here and not at the inside of the doors. So the infotainment screen here again on close-up, if you, for example, change the temperature. And let's take a look at the GPS also once more. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will also be available, by the way. So you can see how it looks like. View of Paris. So could be a little bit more responsive, and I'm not sure why they are they not using the outside elements here. I don't know. And then you can also check some vehicle functions, for example, the parking aid. Oh, that's in German here. Interesting for our German viewers. The hotkeys are placed pretty far away. You can see Apple CarPlay and Auto will also just work. So Holger wanted me to show you this structured roof. You can really feel the structure. Also a unique idea here for the electric model. By the way, they say also DC charging will be possible up to 100 kilowatts. So now the rear. You can see that those reverse shark fin design element leads to a limited visibility from the inside to the outside right here. So you just have a small hole right there. And also you see rear legroom. I mean, it's a small car, you have to know that. So I hit my knees just here at the driver's seat. Headroom-wise, again, it's totally fine. The car is pretty high and you still have headroom as a tall driver. But just, knee room-wise, we have to live with that. Here again, the seats have the fabric mix on the inside. You can already flip them from here in a 1/3, 2/3 split. We'll soon take a look at how it looks like from the trunk, if that's even possible to open here in the electric version. We'll see about that, because some still looks pre-production in this vehicle. But at least they were daring enough to show this car here already right here on the Paris Motor Show. So now the performance trim from the inside. Way to go. So it's not entirely hard, also not super soft, but soft enough on the top part. Then Alcantara used here on the middle part, and that looks way classier. Sorry about the light, it's just to show you on the booth. Then those seats here, take a look at those. And those ones are the fabric mix on the inside with a red, and that should be leather red then on the outside. So that's the one I would actually go for, to have a sporty, racy touch, and they also keep you warm in winter and cold in summer. So yeah, also Alcantara used then here on the dashboard. That looks pretty cool. So which one would you actually go for? Also like those ones here better? Also have DS Performance 9 floor mats then, right there in the lower part. And also aluminum pedals, you can see them right there. I think we should take a look at that just from the rear perspective once more. There it is. This is the cockpit overview then, or the interior overview from the rear here in the DS Performance line. You can, for example, see again this geometric structure in the very middle part. Then also with a darker trim overall. Well, I like the bright stuff then with the electric vehicle, but this one here, of course, looks a little bit racier. So taking a seat here in the performance line, I'd like to hug the Alcantara. Well, interesting about this car is really, I tested it once again because I was curious if you had maybe a different seating position with the electric vehicle, or if it's just, about that. No, you have actually the same seating position here, also in a normal combustion engine car, also with the performance line. Seat form is not different, just the surfaces are different. But if you have the seat all the way down, you sit so low and doesn't really fit to the whole car. But indeed, even if you're a tall person, you rather pump your seat up, and then you sit a little bit better, have a better overview. Of course, the steering wheel has to move up accordingly and maybe towards you. That's a clever idea. But indeed, if you have the seat a little bit more upright, it more feels like an SUV and also somehow fits better to the overall position of the car. There's, by the way, also a small head-up display in a separate plastic glass here. So here in one more trim right there. So this is also dark trim, but then also again all about animal skin in this case. But just to give you an overview about the colors and trims they are using. The trunk is either opened at the key or at the very low button right there. And let's see, it's 350 liters. Well, it is limited, definitely also has a loading sill, limit in the length, but again, you have to bear in mind, it's not such a long vehicle. So we have a replacement tire below here, and we can also flip the seats. Oh, that's nice music here. So, there we go. Once I have to put the head restraints in first. Here we go. And that's your maximum loading capacity. The DS3 Crossback is obviously a design object. So, and with the designer Thierry Métros from DS, we want to talk about exactly that. So what was the main goal when designing this very vehicle?
When we designed this car from the beginning, we started this project. In fact, we are very lucky because in the same time we have the opportunity to work with our engineers on the new platform. And it's very unique in our everyday life to work on the platform and at the same time on the design. And it was possible for us to have a very good proportion. We discussed a lot with our engineers to have the good size of the wheels, for example, to have the good size of the wheelbase, to have the very good proportion. Because a good design, first, is good proportion. It's the first point. Second point, of course, is how we can integrate and how we can design new technology. And on this cart, we support a lot of new technology, a very innovative technology for this segment of car. We have, for example, on the body side, the flush door handles, which is just fantastic in terms of design because we can keep a very pure and very simple body side. It's completely sleek, could be very well integrated. It's one point. For example, about the way how we integrate the side glass, it's a rubberless integration because you have directly the body, the steel, and the glass. You have no rubber, nothing between both. It makes the graphic of the car and the perceived quality very perfect. About the front, the main goal was to integrate a new technology. It was the opportunity to have a very thin headlamp, and we integrate the matrix beam technology, which is unique in this segment of car. We have this rectangular light signature and the three LED modules. And it makes and it gives to this car a very specific highs and with a very strong character and a very special feeling.
And this one here, the performance line, the sportier touch. What did you plan with this one? What is your favorite one?
It's one of my favorite. I love all the DS3 Crossback, in fact, because all of them have a specific character. For example, on the performance line, we have the textured black painting on the wings. On this one, on the green one, the Blue Millennium one, we have the shiny chrome finishes. On the limited edition La Première, it's textured black. And all the car is completely black. And I love the way how we can personalize this car. You can choose, for example, the color of the roof. It could be black, it could be red, it could be white. You can mix the color of the body and the color of the roof. And it's very amazing to play with your car.
So if you desire any other color, talk to this guy and maybe he implements some more color codes to this palette. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
So, and already a short conclusion here about the DS3 Crossback. A very interesting vehicle here for sure, because on the first hand, it gives you so much variation as for petrol, diesel, all electric. Reminds me a little bit of the Hyundai Ioniq, which was hybrid, plug-in hybrid, all electric. Well, this one is a little bit different approach, and definitely we need more full electric small or compact SUVs, which are also affordable, and not only those 100,000 euro electric vehicles. And here they offer a transition that you can still go for petrol when, for example, the neighbors in your basement garage deny to install a charging station. Let me see. Oh, that's in my case. Therefore, I'm a little bit angry about that. Yes, I am. Other than that, but if you have a charging possibility at home, you can already go for the fully electric version. It's cool that they offer this possibility, and it's also something completely new for the brand now. It's one of the first products that will be all electric. Yes, for the standard production cars. There's the e-Mehari, of course, this beach buggy, but not a real competitive car for the whole market. This one will be probably in all versions, petrol, diesel, and electric. And the styling, especially in the rear, is actually pretty cool. In the side, it looks more like this normal DS3, the compact hatch. But of course, you have to like this extravagant styling. That's what they also stand for. They want to be really different. We've also seen in the interior that some functions might not be, let's say, form follows function, but function follows form. Let's take it that way. It's a small car, so you also don't have plenty of rear legroom, but overall I think the offering of room is still okay. In the front, it's a little bit cramped as for the seating position. And of course, the lines, especially the performance line, looked pretty cool. What do you think about this concept of the DS3 Crossback, which is not a real concept car anymore? It's becoming reality very soon.